way back. A little saran wrap to saran wrap from Kenny Bartram. He has the trick repertoire. The question is, can Kenny Bartram remember his line, not get shuffled in the corners there, and bring it all the way through? A cool thing about Kenny Bartram, he represents the total opposite freestyle motocross. In fact, he's the antithesis of the Metal Militia. Basically, an all-around good kid, loves to ride, very clean image. Yes, Shazam! Kenny Bartram taking a little influence from Kerry Hart with the heart attack and landing his signature on it, the Bart attack. If you notice on that, he had both hands on the seat, getting completely vertical, and Kenny looking down to his watch, getting a little lost on the time factor there. And going for the Cordova right at the last part of the run. That's going to finish it for the Cowboy, Kenny Bartram. One of the best things about freestyle motocross, each rider brings a little customization into it. Right there, he does it with his version called the Bart attack, and even with stock tricks like the heel clicker, and gets a little one-hander after that out to the crowd. Solid run from Kenny Bartram. Kenny Bartram taking a little hit on the score with the fall in that run, a 90. So we'll see if he can hold on with his tie with Brian Deegan.
No way, dude. I can't even believe I did this.
Kerry Hart's first look at the most defining moment of his life.
Dude, I can't even believe I did it.
Looks like we have a new leader now.
Progression aside, we still have a contest here. Deegan currently tied for first. This is his second and final run.
He has got to be wondering, man, how am I going to top that? But remember, Pat, these guys are judged on 2 complete runs. Yeah, Kerry went, did the backflip. It'll be in everyone's head. But we still have to remember it is a complete run that will get you the goal.
Well, Kerry Hart ends up hitting a 72.50. But look what was accomplished so much. Right now, Brian Deegan's validation can very well come with a gold medal. He got the silver last year.
It seems like he's sticking to his previous formula, Pat.
Keep in mind, Brian Deegan is one of the most accomplished riders in the sport. He's the 1999 World Free Riding Association champion. And
Yeah!
It's
Did you
riding
see
like
that?
that has brought Deegan to the top of the heap. With authority on the no-handed landing, Deegan is going to need to put a solid run like his first if he plans to medal. It is all about consistency right now.
And he looks to be doing just that. His run has been precise. He's been hitting all of his tricks. He could be on his way.
Awesome extension over the 65-foot gap with the heart attack. That is going to do it for Brian Deegan. Right now, Jamie's with Kerry's dad, Tom Hart.
Tom, what was going through your mind when you saw Kerry just hit the throttle? You knew he was going for it.
Well, he had talked about it all week, and that was his big thing on coming to the Gravity Games this year, taking it to the next level, just like he did last year with the heart attack and the double C crowd. He's been talking about it for a month, trying to get me to build him a jump that he could practice on. I said, well, we're going to practice. Let's practice in gravity.
So it was a two-man thing. It was, or whose decision was it?
It was definitely Kerry's decision. He wanted to do it. This was his mission this year. and I told him I'd build it for him. So that's where we're at.
Were you nervous watching him out there, though?
Yes, I was. I was nervous, but I knew he could pull it. He was confident he could pull it, knew he could pull it, and he pulled it. So here we are, the next level, backflips.
You ran out there. You're his biggest fan. You were out there with him in that pileup, first person.
Yeah, he's my son. He's also my best friend. I love him a lot, and I'm really proud of him.
All right, congratulations on you guys. It was a joint effort. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Definitely overshadowed by the backflip, but an amazing performance. His score, a 92.50. Brian Deegan right now in the first place position. Only one rider could take it away, Mike Metzger. He needs a 95. His first scoring run, a 91. Has to make up for some room there.
Metzger absolutely has the tricks in the flair. Pat, I'm speaking with Metz earlier on. He was telling me he loves big jumps. As a matter of fact, a jump that he practices on at home is 110 feet. That's 20 feet bigger than the biggest jump here.
Well, the fact of the matter is, most of the competitions that these guys compete in at the freeride events, they're in tight little auditoriums. But course designer Rob Justine has definitely utilized the space here in downtown Providence. Some of the 90-footers, 70-footers, even some 45. This is the kind of conditions that Mike Metzger thrives on.
Feeding off the energy out there today. He seems to be having such a great time riding his bike. You wouldn't even think that he's in a contest.
Over the 90-footer, no problem. He's only got a couple more hits. He needs to get a 95 or better to beat Brian Deegan right there.
That was some severely unnatural twisting going on. Yo, whatever! He can whip so far and then somehow pull those whips right back in.
Great extension on the Superman. And that is going to do it for Mike Metzger.
No, it is not. He's still on the course.
Just taking a victory lap. You do get caught up in the frenzy of energy.
Where is he going now? Oh, no way!
Whoa! Metzger goes, he came down so hard on that. He went off the side of the hip. These guys really make it look too easy. They are at such heights, and when they don't have the bike to land on, the amount of impact is bone-crushing. Look at the height where Metzger loses the bike. He comes down and watch the back of his neck. That's a good sight. Mike Metzger able to walk off. His second run scored the highest of the day. Unfortunately, a half a point shy of the gold medal. That means Brian Deegan is your 2000 Gravity Games Freestyle Motocross gold medalist. The silver medal going to Mike Metzger and the bronze to Kenny Bartram. Clifford Adaptante, Tommy Clowers, Mike Jones, and Ronnie Feist were unable to medal. In 10th place, a rider who epitomized the spirit of what these games are about, Kerry Hart.
He could care less about a medal. That's exactly what these sports are all about. It's about winning a battle within yourself. If you decide, hey, I want to go out and put a perfect run together and you do it, you've won. If you say, hey, I want to go out there and do a backflip and you did it, you've won. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big trick. It's about winning the battle in your mind.
Determination, passion exemplified by Kerry Hart. But last year's silver medalist Brian Deegan persevered, following the hysteria of the backflip, and went on to grab the gold.
Brian, this had to be the biggest win of your life, up there with the best.
I'm stoked to win this event. I trained all year for this event. You know, I busted some of the sickest tricks, and I feel I deserve the win. Pretty much here with the Metal Militia representing. Yeah, my roots are motocross, supercross. You know, I paid my dues racing. And I won a few races, a few nationals, and came out here, showed my skills, and took the win. I'm pumped.
Kerry Hart went out there, he pulled a backflip, something nobody's ever done. Do you feel like that might have overshadowed you a little bit?
If everyone puts their attention on a guy pulling a backflip, you know, that takes away from freestyle. You know, the guy, that's all he had was to make, you know, to highlight his run was a backflip. Some people just can't step up and bust all the gnarly tricks, you know. That's an all or nothing move, you know. Who's saying that, you know, everyone won't be doing that next week, you know? It's just the first guy to do it.
No! Kerry! You've got to be kidding me! Kerry Hart has done the unthinkable!
Good God! This sport just took a quantum leap forward.
Kerry Hart just blew the doors open on the possibilities of this sport. Determination, passion exemplified by Kerry Hart. So for Kenan Harkin, Gabrielle Reese, Jamie Little, and all of the Gravity Games athletes, I'm Pat Parnell. Thank you for joining us for Gravity Games 2000.